Good morning. Welcome to Partners in Health and Biz. I'm your host, natural health consultant, Gail Dixon McBride, and I'm so very happy that you could tune in today. And today, my special guest on Partners in Health and Biz is Miss Janet Hall. And Janet Hall is founder of the Janet Hall Foundation. Miss Hall is a 40-year breast cancer survivor. Her goal is to give back to the community and to assist breast cancer patients in any way possible. For the past 16 years, Miss Hall has sponsored a spa-themed foundation to benefit breast cancer survivors. The proceeds will benefit the Janet Foundation. Janet Hall Foundation, Pampering Pink Survivors, is a nonprofit organization. Their mission is to pamper and uplift women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. So, with pampering spa treatments such as massages, manicures, and pedicures to relieve the stress of being diagnosed, to beautify the outside. The foundation therefore works to help women with their self-esteem. Why? Because being stressed takes a toll on the body. Yes, it does. And so pampering breast cancer survivors helps the mind, the body, and the soul. So without further ado, I would like to open up Miss Janet Hall's microphone and welcome her to Partners in Health and Biz. Welcome to Partners in Health and Biz, Miss Janet Hall. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So as we both know, breast cancer is a problem. Many
Yes.
women suffer from breast cancer and get the diagnosis that they have breast cancer every year. So I'd like to have a little conversation with you. We'd like to know, I'm sure I'd like to know, and my listeners would like to know, in this journey, when should girls start breast health?
Yes, I think young girls should start breast health early as puberty, and as early as they start to develop breasts. They should start breast health.
Okay, as
And
soon as they,
that can be as early as 13, 14, or 15 when they
mhm.
start developing their breasts. That's when they need to start taking care of them, being aware of their breast.
Okay, yes. And I had shared a story about my journey from teenage years when I first began to develop breast. I've always had small breasts. And so in middle school, I was so ashamed that when I would look at other girls my age and they had more developed breasts, and I would just wrap some toilet papers really neatly and put it in my breast, in my bra
Sure.
to kind
Mhm.
of make it seem like I had more. So yeah, but some women or some young girls, everyone doesn't develop the same way, and we all don't have the same amount of breasts. But so are you saying that no matter if it's a young lady has small breasts, middle-sized breasts, or large breasts, that that the young lady should start doing dealing with breast health at like ages 13, 14, 15?
Yes, they should be aware of their breasts. And as you know, women of color, Black women, tend to have dense breasts.
Mhm.
So once you kind of identify that you do have dense breasts, then you definitely need to continue to have breast health and to check them. Younger girls need to be aware of their breasts and that it's developing. And as you develop your breasts, there's tissue there, and we have to make sure that there's no lumps, there are no rashes, or anything that's happening on your breast or around the nipple area.
Okay, yes. Okay, that's very important. And another thing, very important, and this is a question because I've actually looked into this myself, but we find, and studies have shown that Black women are 40% more likely to die of breast cancer than white women. So, could you explain to us why this happens, or why is this?
Yes, this is happening because young women are not uh, examining their breasts. They're not going to the doctors for well women exams. When they're feeling good, they should have exams. When they feel something, they're not going to the doctor to see about it. If you see something, you feel something, you should see your doctor about it. But most women are not doing those things. So, therefore, when they decide to go and check their breast out or have a mammogram and there's something there, it's usually sometime in stage one or stage two.
Hmm.
I have a young lady now who's 41 and she has never had a mammogram. And they say at 41, but now at 40, I should say, but
Mhm.
now for Black women and women of color, they are putting the age down to 35. And the
Okay.
reason why they are doing it at 35 because our women have dense breasts, and that's something that need to be taken care of and looked at that age and earlier. More and more women are being diagnosed with breast cancer under the age of 35. I was only
Hmm.
33. I have a
Hmm.
couple other ladies who are 22 that have discovered that they have breast cancer.
Right. So, does it matter if it runs in the family? I mean, it makes that would seem like that would be even more of a concern that a younger woman would make sure that she's getting doing her breast health and seeing her doctor and and getting the mammograms.
That's so important. And that's one of the things that I try to tell everyone is about family history. You would be very surprised to know that grandma, auntie, cousin, or someone in the family who has had breast cancer and didn't tell anyone about it. And the
Um,
reason why they don't tell is because they're ashamed. I was ashamed at 33 to tell anybody that I had breast cancer because women thought that you could catch breast cancer.
oh,
And
wow.
they look at you kind of strange when you say, "Oh, I've been diagnosed with breast cancer." But the
Hmm.
early detection, being aware, can save your life. It saved my
Absolutely.
life
Hmm.
because I was aware of my breast. I went to see about it. But young girls now, they're not thinking of their breasts, and they should because we are dying at a higher rate than other women, only because we don't check our breasts, we don't have health insurance, and we have no one to pay for those things if we need to go into the doctor. And these are things that we need to help other women to conquer. If you don't
Yes.
have health insurance, my foundation would try to help you pay for a test that you really need. I
Hmm.
have had a young lady at 22. She decided to have the genetic testing. She found out that her grandmother had breast cancer.
Hmm.
It skipped her mom, but it went to her. At 22, she had to have a double mastectomy.
Wow.
So
Wow.
this is the reason why family history is so important. And ladies, we need to start talking to our families, especially our older people that's in the family. And if you don't know how to start the conversation, you have to find a way to start it at sometimes at Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving, when the
So,
gathering are all the women. If you have to go into a safe place and talk about it, it's so, so important. I can't tell you how important that is, Gail.
absolutely. So, when you discovered that you had breast cancer, um, how did you discover that?
Well, most people think you have to have a lump. I did not have a lump. I
Hmm.
actually had a rash around the nipple of my area of my breast, and I had a discharge. So I
Okay.
thought it was just something that was cosmetic. When we
Mhm.
have a little rash or something, we try to take care of it on our own. When I found out that I couldn't take care of it, that's when I went to the doctor, and that's when they did a biopsy. Again, up until my biopsy date, my doctor said to me, "Oh, it's just a rash, it's nothing else." And
Wow.
that was kind of gaslighting me because it was telling me, "Oh, it's nothing." But don't tell me that until after you have my biopsy.
That's right.
So when I went in to have my biopsy on Friday, I went to my doctor on Wednesday. I went alone because I just knew it was cosmetic. When the doctor read the report and told me that it was malignant and that it was breast cancer, I was so devastated. I was so devastated
Oh,
because
yes.
I didn't think that that rash, especially when we thought it's only supposed to be a lump for breast cancer, I really
Mm-hmm.
didn't think I had breast cancer, and I did. And
Hmm.
the only option that I had was to, at 33, was to have a mastectomy.
Oh, wow. So sorry.
Yes,
Yes, and so that's why it's so important, like you just emphasized, that women, you do not have to find a lump or have lumps in your breast in order to for you to think that it could be breast cancer, because you may not have a lump. It could, like Janet says, it depends. It could You could have a lump, and it could be benign and not
right,
malignant,
right,
because there is those small lumps that some women have in their breast. They're
exactly.
removed and they are biopsied, and they find out, well, it's not cancer. But the important thing is that you do go and have it checked out, and so
Yes,
you're not guessing, you're not wondering, for sure. So that's what's very important about having taking care of yourself and making sure you go to the doctor when there's something that needs to be
right. And,
clarified.
and that's what breast health is about.
Hmm.
Breast health is taking care of your breast. It's about you checking your breast every month in the shower. My foundation actually give out the shower placket for women to show them how to examine their breast. Most women have no idea. We always say, okay, early detection, be aware. Be aware of what? How do you become aware unless you check your breast and know how to do it?
Right, right. Yeah. If you don't know how to do it, then you're in the dark. So I'm happy that your foundation has the information to actually show women, to teach them how to do it properly, because some women may be doing it and not doing it correctly. So there's a right way and there's a wrong way. And if you don't do it correctly, then you may be missing something that needs to be examined by a doctor. So you definitely want to take have those self breast exams and to do them properly.
Yes.
So so it is very important to that women do the self breast exams. And why is would you say self breast exams are just important, or maybe even more important than having a mammogram?
Yes, it is, because that way you can detect something early. As you
Mm-hmm.
know, a young lady under the age of 35 might not have a mammogram, but in the shower, she might examine herself and find something. And if she
Mm-hmm.
finds something, that's when she needs to go to the doctor. Sometimes they don't want to give you a mammogram, let's say at 35 or 33. But if you know that there's something is going on with you, you need to continue to go to the doctor, and don't let them gaslight you.
Right.
Meaning to say, oh, it's just your hormones, it's just this or that. They need to go take the next step to see what exactly is going on with your breast. There's too many women who are being diagnosed right now with breast cancer for you not to examine yourself or have a professional to do it for you.
I agree. I agree. So, in the chronological order of women getting breast cancer, I'm sorry, getting mammograms, at what age should women, you mentioned starting a mammogram, starting to get a mammogram, but at what age should women stop getting mammograms?
Well, I've asked several doctors about that because I am 74 and I still continue to have my mammograms. A lot of ladies asked me about that, and the doctor said if your life expectancy at least 5 years and more, you should continue to have a mammogram.